Hi beauty fam, welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. I'm MikiCarrBeauty, and on my channel I love to talk about luxury skincare, beauty, and sometimes small luxury goods. And today I'm doing a collaborative video with a beauty friend, Daphne from Daps Makeup. Here she is above, and I'll show you her YouTube handle and her Instagram handle. She's a beauty friend of mine. Daphne and I both love luxury makeup, and we also love indie makeup. So we both found out we were getting this, finally got our hands on this ODEN'S Eye Christmas Eve palette. She loves blues, I love blues, so we decided to do a collaborative video together. So go to her channel, subscribe on her YouTube and Instagram, show her some love. I really love her Instagram selfie cars of the day, like her selfie looks, her makeup of the day, right before she goes to work. So I love to see what her makeup looks are. So, and she's awesome, so sweet, and she's just got a really wonderful collection as well, and does swatches. So show her some love and tell her I sent you, and comment on her videos as well and on her Instagram. So today I spilled the beans that we're going to do the ODEN'S Eye Christmas Eve palette. This is the second year it was released, and it sold out again. I don't know if it's going to be released again, maybe next year, might be this year, I'm not sure. But if it does go in stock, do not hesitate. We're going to do a collaborative video between her and I. She's going to show you some looks on her channel. I'm going to show you 4 looks, and what I ended up doing was going through each row of the palette to do a look. So if that interests you, then keep watching. But before we continue, remember to subscribe. Remember to click the all buttons so you get notifications of all my videos when they go online. Commenting and liking below helps out engagement on my channel. And do you know a lot of you who are watching actually aren't subscribed? So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe. Join the MikiCarrBeauty fam. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Here is a beautiful look of this ODEN'S Eye Christmas Eve palette. It comes with a sleeve. It's pretty much the same thing. It's protecting like cover. It's nothing, anything addition. But here is the palette. It's cardboard, but the design of ODEN'S Eye, they always have the best art. They really pay attention to their whoever is creating the cover art. I love this about this brand, of that sometimes indie makeup, they care more about the makeup and not the packaging. The ODEN'S Eye cares about everything. They care about the quality of the shadows, the art, the design, and then the names. They are a Swedish company, and just look how beautiful this palette is. I am a lover of purples and blues and greens, so this was like a no-brainer for me. It does come with this mirror, and I actually have used this mirror. It's a nice size mirror. I've used it to do my makeup. This year they came out with 2 more releases of Christmas holiday palettes. This is the cover art for those palettes. I did not get them just because I'm not interested in those color stories, so I just got the one, which is purples and blues. What I'll do is show you some swatches that I did, and then we'll go into the 4 looks. And in the looks, I basically go down each row here, look 1, look 2, and then 3 and 4. In terms of the formula, the mattes are pretty good. They're nowhere near Viseart, which is like kind of like my gold standard, but for independent, they're pretty good. I do enjoy them. I think I like Sydney Grace mattes more, but these are just as good. Sometimes there can be kickback in the palette from the mattes, but they're pretty good. What I really love is the curation of the colors and the shimmer shades. That's what I'm going for ODEN'S Eye. And that's what they're known for, are the shimmer shades. Now, I think the quality of the shimmers are great. You just want to know that sometimes there's fallout. So I highly recommend, and you'll see this in the video, that you do your eye makeup first, and that you use either glitter glue or Pat McGrath Intensifies wand, something that'll make the shimmers adhere and stay on the eyelid. I just love the color curation and the quality of the shimmers. And usually in these palettes, there's usually one duo or multi-chrome, and this is the one in this palette. This is called Gorgeous, and yes, she is. So you can see it's like a lilac purple to a teal shift. Do you see that right there? So pretty. I love it. Let's go to the product swatches and the looks of the demos, and as always, the makeup I use in the video is listed down below. My closest foundation shades are listed below, and then I put timestamps as well so that you can kind of go right to what you want to see. So we'll move to the swatches now. So I think I'm going to go kind of just across this way. Ice crystal here, and I'm using my Sonia G Crease 2 brush. Ooh, it's a lot bluer than I thought. It's almost like a gray baby blue. And in the pan it looks almost gray, but it really is a gray blue on me. I have to say that this one went on a little patchy. Okay, great. And then I'm going into Nightfall to build up some sort of dimension on this shade. It's this one right here. And it's it's a very pigmented blue. And I'm using that really in my crease shade. And the thing with ODEN'S eyes is that they're generally pretty colorful. So these looks from ODEN'S eye, you're not going to get like a boring, very neutral look. These palettes, as a warning, these are pretty pigmented. So the looks you're gonna on this YouTube video are gonna be pretty colorful. Okay, just laying that down. It's not at this one, which is Nightfall, wasn't as patchy as Ice Crystal, but I'm taking that original brush and just kind of using that to buff out the products more. And then we have Snowflake and Silvery Dream. So here's Snowflake and Silvery Dream. Ooh, those are pretty. Maybe put Silvery Dream more on the outer corner here. I'm using my Hakuhodo brush. It's a J242 brush. And there's some shimmer on here, so I'm just patting it on very carefully. This is such a pretty shade. It's almost silver, but there's flecks of warmth there. It almost looks like there's some rose gold in this shade. Definitely looks more like scattered light. Now I'm going into Snowflake at the edge here. Just flipping the brush. Going to pat that in the inner corner. Just wiping off whatever residual I have in this and using that tip for Ice Crystal and using that on the bottom edge. And there's definitely fallout with these two shimmer shades. I'm not sure which one it is, but I do remember that from ODEN'S. Now I'm taking a Refer 23 brush. It's a very small pointed brush, and then going into that more pizzazz blue and using that as a liner. And that's what I remember about ODEN'S eyes, that there's sometimes fallout, which I wasn't too keen on, but I love this palette color story. It's so pretty. Grabbing a brush to wipe away any residual color. I want to try something. The impact on the shimmers is not so much, so I'm grabbing an Intensifies wand. This is the Pat McGrath one. Just kind of going over the eyelid again. And what I want to do is actually use my finger. I'm using my finger and I'm going into Silvery Dream and just going over my eye area again. Great, so I'm going to go into this side here and it's a lot more impactful. So the colors are really bright. It's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but you know, we're here to play. I'm going into Just Now and with a fluffy Wayne Goss 16 brush. These are his older brushes. This is more of like a forest green. This one is less patchy for sure. Okay, and then I'm going in with a smaller Refer 13 brush. And then going into this navy blue Christmas Eve color. It's really pigmented, so I'm going to just kind of use that to build up on the outer V. I think I want to use that blue ice color, this one here. I'm taking a Refer 28 brush. Okay, and then I'm taking a Candy Jane Hughes Spectrum number 29 brush and going into Snow Light, and then using that on the inner corner. This is really pretty. There's like almost, because of the green or the yellow plus the blue will make a green, but those two together are really pretty. I think I'm going to go in with some of that to Just Now color, the green one, just to connect the bottom with the top. Using I just cleaned off that Katie Jane Hughes brush, and it has like one of these kind of like fine tips, and then I actually love this brush. I love this whole series. I'm using that same blue that I diffused as a liner because it's pretty pigmented. To see how that just added really nice liner color. Yeah, this blue is really nice. It's a nice navy blue. Nice. And I think I'm actually going to do the same thing for the other side because there's really not that much depth on that top row. So I'm using that blue to create a wing. Very nice blue. Okay, so two different looks. That was one side using the very top row. This one right here, that is that row up here. And then the second row on this eye. Okay, so let me finish up my eyes. I'll clean up a bit because there's definitely fallout, and then all right, to finish off the look, I did my lips. I did Velvet Fawn by Lisa Eldridge, and then I topped it off with some of her Gloss Embrace in Muse, one of my most used Gloss Embrace between Affair and Muse. I use this because it's pretty neutral. And then I don't have blush on today, but I finish off with Sisley bronzer all over my face to warm that up. I did get the new Prada MW45. I had trouble finding the right shade. I think I finally found it, but got that in the mail. And then had concealer, Sisley concealer, and then I finished off that blue. I kind of emphasized more of the blue with Uomo Beauty. I have a blue liner, mascara, and then I think that's it. So let me get in so you can see this look. Again, I did a look for each eye, and let me just close my eyes so you can see. And this top row here is this look here, this one here. And then this look on this eye is this second row. So pretty. This Silvery Dream is definitely this, it's silver, but then it's got some rose gold in there. There's like a hint of warmth in there. It's so, so pretty. Can you see that? I didn't try to take it off, but there's definitely fallout. This is what I remember about ODEN'S eye. I love a lot of their color curations, and they have mad fallout on the shimmer shades. So what I had read is that there's one multi-chrome, which is this gorgeous shade, this one here, if there's a flip to it. Let me show you this. You can see, and the rest are shimmer shades. So what I remember from the last ODEN'S eye palette I have, it's beautiful, and there's just know that there's a lot of fallout. I experienced fallout at least. There might be reviewers that don't experience fallout, but I know I do. Here you go. There you can see the fallout here, and it's not as bad as I could say like Pat McGrath, but it's enough that it bothers me. So for the last two looks, I'm definitely going to use these last 8 shades and then do my eye makeup first and then do my base makeup because there's just so much fallout. So when this happens, I actually try to grab, I have tape on deck on standby. So I'm really happy with this look, but I'm not happy with the fallout. And that's what I remember about ODEN'S eye, is that you just got to know that there's fallout when you use these shadows. I did use my Pat McGrath to help lay down the color so that it would stay. If you have something stronger than this Pat McGrath Intensifies one, I would highly recommend that you use glitter glue. So that said, if fallout from shadows doesn't bother you, then I think you're going to love this palette, or at least ODEN'S eye. And last time I checked, I'm so sorry, I think this sold out, but this is a re-release from last year because the Christmas Eve palette sold out, and I can see why. These are such pretty colors. There's lots of shimmer. This is more of the hot mess. There's like lots of fallout with this one, but these shades are so pretty. It's almost like there's a pinky flip to it, and I almost just want to put a little more. You know, if you see that, there's like this pink flip to this shadow here that is so, so pretty. And it reminded me of like the glamour and glitz of Pat McGrath, but not quite. That's Silvery Dream where I put more on. And then going into Blue Ice, I could do the same with this and just pack it on with my fingers, which, you know, when you use your fingers, you're definitely going to have more impact. And why not? This is for the holiday season, so kind of not shying away from the glitz. So pretty. And for some people, this might be too much. And I can see why, because it is a lot of glitter. But for the purposes of this video, I want to show you how much it can be amplified. And then going now into that Snow Light shade in my inner corner. And then going into Snowflake. And then using that on my inner corner. This is a very shimmery, glitzy palette. So if you're really not into this, like, you're not gonna like at least this Christmas palette, but you know, when in Rome, why not? I just wanted to show you how much it could be amped up. And now this is like way too much this evening, so this is like definitely if you're going to an event and you want it to be like super like glittery, this is what you can amp it up to. Okay, so that's the final look for the first 2 rows. Tell me what you think. That's eye look the top row, and eye look for the second row. Hi fam, I am back to finish off the last 2 looks of the ODEN'S Eye Christmas Eve palette. And so you saw me do the row 1, 2, and now I'm going to do 3 and 4 for each eye. And so I learned from the first time not to do my base makeup first. I'm actually going to put some powder down. I'm going to even put it on my nose because there was a fallout that got on my nose. So I know it might look funny, but welcome back. I got my Christmas tree back and I actually prefer this setup. I think it looks the nicest and I actually have more room in this room. And then we'll go into this 3rd row here, and it has basically 2 mattes and 2 shimmer shades. Let me swatch these for you. And actually I'm just doing it again because for me it helps me remind me what I'm working with. Okay, so ooh, that's an interesting color story. Okay, so this is a fun one. So we're gonna go into Nowhere, which is that kind of mauvey purpley color. Taking my Sony G Classic crease, going into this shade Nowhere. And that built up pigment really quickly. Okay, that's pretty built up. This is a Hakuhodo brush. It doesn't have a number. And then going into that shade, this one here called Softly, and where the brush hits is where it's most pigmented. This is kind of like a mossy green. I don't really like that brush, so I'm gonna grab Mini Booster. I'm actually just gonna use the palette because it has like a nicer mirror than what I was using. Yeah, it's almost, this color is almost like a mossy green. So I'm going back into that original shade Nowhere, and I'm just buffing out the edges. Taking a Builder Lotus series and going into that shade Wonderful here. And I'm actually going to use my own advice. I'm taking a Pat McGrath Intensifies wand to get ahead any sort of fallout. My finger, I'm going in again to that shade Wonderful and just using my fingers to pat down the color. Yes, there's definitely better payoff this way. And happy beginning of December, beauty fam. This reminds me, this eye look reminds me a lot of the new Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette. It's that felting time here. And then taking my Smith Arrowhead brush, it's the 253. It's hard to get into that corner, so I'm using this tool, which I love. It's like one of my favorite brushes. I was thinking about even actually getting a backup of this because it's so great if you have hooded eyes or a small area to work with. I think this is such a great brush because it's flat. let me show you, it's flat and then it kind of has a taper to it. It's one of my more unique brushes in my collection, and it's a pop of color. This reminds me a lot of that new SUQQU holiday winter kit that I just reviewed. I'll put it up above so you can see what that video looks. So it has like purple and then this kind of gold look, and that's in their holiday palette. Just want to connect the top to the bottom. What I'm going to do is kind of clean off this crease brush, this mini booster, and then go back into Nowhere, this one here, and then run it along the bottom lash. It reminds me a bit of just on my skin tone, it's not a very flattering green. It's just not a flattering green on me. It just has almost a bit too much yellow to be a cool like army green or olive. But you know, we'll try it again. I'm going to use it as a liner a bit here. I just want to go back into that Wonderland, that shimmer shade, and just pack it down because I don't want any fallout. Okay, so now we're going to go to the other eye. Okay, this is some wild colors. What to do with this one? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the Night Sky first, actually. And I'm just patting that on gently, and then I'm going to build it up. And so I want the edge to be the most smokiest part, and that's where I'm just kind of laying down most of the color. The rest of the crease to just diffuse. That's pretty pigmented, so I don't feel like I put a lot, so just kind of fair warning. And I'm going to that yellow shade, Liam Tart. Oh, and the previous brush I used was a Wayne Goss 16 brush. Now I'm using a rougher 13 brush, kind of putting this on the inner corner. And again, you don't have to use all these shades. I'm just doing this for the purpose of the review to show you all the shades and how they're working. I'm taking that gorgeous color, that multi-chrome, my rougher 21 brush. It's like a flat brush, this one here. And then going into this shade here. It's got blue, got teal blue and purple. I might have one more shift to it, but I'm seeing at least two as a duochrome. And I didn't lay down any of that Pat McGrath, so we'll see how this fares. Fun color. It reminds me of a bit like a Clionadh Cosmetics multi-chromes. Those Clionadh ones are very silky smooth. This is pretty thin, not as emollient, but it reminds me of that shift you get with Clionadh Cosmetics. Okay, so it's got a blue shift with some purple. Now I'm flipping the brush over, and then I'm going into Blue Star. It's like this blue purple color, but it's a deeper color. Edge out here. That's smoky. I think even like these two alone would be a great smoky eye. Taking a Lotus soft definer, going into this shade. It has a little bit of green in it, and then just trying to diffuse it as much as possible. This one I can't help. This is going to be the smoky eye, smoky dramatic one, because that shade, Night Sky, is just so pigmented. Going into that Blue Star again with Wayne Goss 05 brush. It's this kind of pointed tip one, and then kind of tapping off any extra and then putting that down here. Do you see that? It's like actually very pigmented. It's almost like a blue black when I lay it over this matte shade. Very pretty. So definitely the bottom row is very pigmented. I'm going back into that yellow shade and taking Katie Jane Hughes brush number 15, and I'm just packing it on this brush here and just going all out because, you know, it's already pigmented. You might as well. So I'm going to go back into Gorgeous, that multi-chrome, and using my finger because I just want big impact as much as possible. That's such a pretty shade. I think this is my favorite shade in the entire palette. I think Silvery Dream and Gorgeous are my favorite. These two. Okay, beauty fam, I'm back. I feel like I have a lot of makeup on, and I do. It's towards the evening, and so what I'm going to do is I just wanted to show you what my final look looked like with my hair down. I'm actually going to take this headband off because I think it looks a little distracting. I used the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, Laura Mercier foundation. This is the Real Flawless foundation in the shade 4 and 1 Ginger, and I use two types of bronzers, the Chanel 395 Tan Deep bronze, the cream travel bronzer. And then over that I use the Sisley bronzer, which just kind of, I like to use creams and then powders. For my blush, God, I love these Pat McGrath blushes. This is the Pat McGrath Nude Venus blushes. I'm still loving her blushes. For the lips, since I was on a Pat McGrath kick, I grabbed actually the only Pat McGrath lips products I have, which is the Matte Trance Christie color. It's like a pinky nude. Such a pretty color on me. And you know, if you know her matte formula is really great. And then topped it with Aphrodisiac lip gloss. I love this lip gloss, but for the fact that it has a scent. I think it's got a vanilla scent. I would use it more, but I love this combination because it's like this cool pink that I just love these two together. This eye, I finish with the YSL Crush Liner. And I'm able to tight line with this because it doesn't have glitter, but it's their purple one. This is the YSL, and all the products I use will be listed below. So I tight lined with that and went over on top as well and tight lined. And then the SURRAT Autographique liner. This is the purple color. I love these liquid liners. I just actually ordered a blue one during the sale. And then for this eye, because it's so teal, I used Surfside by Victoria Beckham. And this came out this year, Surfside. And I used then the DANESSA MYRICKS line work in black. It's a liquid liner. For correcting, I use the Becca Cosmetics. It's all now owned by Smashbox. This is the under eye brightening corrector. This is like the medium deep color. It's this perfect peachy color for me. But I always prep my eyes with some sort of gel product, or because my aging eyes, it's always good to prep it and hydrate it right before I use concealer. And then I've been trying to use up my Sisley concealer, so I've been not straying from that. I've been trying to use that as much as possible. And then for my powder, I tried to use I'm just going to show you what happened. The Givenchy Prisma Libre. So many reviewers love this powder, and the packaging is so pretty. And here's the thing, there's just so much perfume in it, and the mechanism I hate even more than the Sisley one. It's just really hard to get the product out. I don't even want to open it because it's such a mess. And yeah, I'm gonna do declutter soon. She's on the chopping block. I've been just trying. She's been on my vanity for the past 3 weeks, and I've just been trying to like work with her, and she's just like a hot mess. She's a hot mess. She's not only is she like too much perfume, she's just high maintenance. Anyway, let's continue on with the look. So I do want to finish with some sort of where is this? I do want to finish with some sort of highlighter, because I think this look warrants some sort of highlight just because it's so like kind of glam. And I've been using this highlighter a lot, and this is the Lisa Eldridge highlighter, the liquid liner. I'm not saying the name correctly. It's the Elevated Glow highlighter, and it's got some skincare ingredients, I think, there, and some sort of technology that kind of just tightens up this area here. So I love this because it's not too, it doesn't emphasize my texture, which happens a lot with even powder highlights or liquid, but this just Lisa Eldridge knows what she's doing. So it's really great. I'll start with this row. I love this one because it reminds me actually of the SUQQU holiday release, so with purple and gold. I'll close my eyes so you can see. Let me just shine some light here so maybe you can see the shift that's going on here with this multi-chrome. It's green, blue and a bit purple. This one's so pretty too. And this is what's so fun about Oden's Eye. They have some fun, wild color stories. And so if you do not like color and color is not your thing, Oden's Eye is not going to be your jam. I feel like with this kind of palette, it's hard, and I might do this on my Instagram to do more like boring kind of simple looks. Like you could do it like just use 2 colors and do a simpler look. You can always do that with palettes, but look how beautiful this palette is. This palette just screams use me, go bold, and I can certainly try to do some light colors, but I'm just having fun with it. I really love how this palette is laid out. So I've done all like 4 looks, and I'd have to say, I don't know, I like all of them. I probably like the second look I did plus this one. This one, the yellow, kind of throws me off. It does not really holiday, but it's fun. It's fun. This is what Oden's Eye is known for. Like, you look at the color story, it pushes you out of your comfort zone, and it's definitely for people who love color and I'm not afraid of color. So if you're basic and it's a if you're a basic AF kind of person, these are not for you. Like, go back, use Chanel, use Lancome. These beauties are not for you. Now, if you're someone who loves color and loves shimmer, if you're not worried about doing your eye makeup first and then the rest of your face because of fallout, then she's your gal. If you're wanting to try Oden's Eye, I would say find a color story that you vibe with and try it. Just know that these shimmer shades have a little bit of fallout. Do your makeup first or use glitter glue and then do your rest of your base. Don't do your base first. Just know that there's gonna be a lot of impact and a lot of color. This is so fun, and this is what makeup's for. It's like to push you out of your creative edge. If you haven't checked out my beauty friend Daphne at Daps Makeup, go to her channel, tell her I sent you her way, subscribe to her channel, and then check her out on Instagram because she has such like great looks. I look forward to Daphne's car looks. Show her some love. Check out her YouTube video. If this gets restocked, for sure, do not wait. This is like the 3rd palette I've tried of Oden's Eye. I'm a fan. They're based in Stockholm, Sweden. This product is made in China, and they're cruelty free. So let me know what you think, beauty fam, of this look. Super fun, lots of makeup, I know. I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful start to the holiday season, whatever you may celebrate or not celebrate. We're at the end of the year, so I'm just hoping everyone's staying safe and healthy and that you're taking good care of yourself and your physical health and your mental health. And as always, please be very kind with yourself and others and just be you. Until the next video, beauty fam, take good care of yourself. Bye.